Well then, Wolves fans, another one of those weekends, unfortunately. At Molineux today, normally a very, very good team at home, but it finished Wolves 0, Brighton Hove Albion 0. Brighton came with a very, very clear game plan, and they will be delighted with the result. But for Wolves, to play like we did and still not manage to score a goal is very, very disappointing. Wolves in full control for the game and of course unable to score. We'll start off with the starting lineup as I normally do, and I was pretty impressed with it. Some changes made, not massive, not wholesale. Bennett came back in for Romain Saiss, which I think was needed. Saiss wasn't fantastic against Southampton, and he just shored up the defence. I think Saiss could have got away with it today. I think Saiss may, in hindsight, been a better option than Bennett just for his ball playing technique. But Bennett played. No quibbles about it, because at the end of the day we kept a clean sheet, and the big one was that Dendoncker was dropped for Morgan Gibbs-White. Obviously, I agree with this, because I think Morgan just pushes in front of the midfield two, just behind the forward two, and maybe he could be the main outlet for us, because that's what we've lacked the last few games, just someone that can pick the ball up and feed our forwards a little bit more. First half, Wolves in full control, really. Brighton didn't have much of the ball. They had a couple of decent passing spells, but nothing really to worry us at all. I think they had one shot straight at Patricio. We hit the post. Very, very unfortunate. I think Jota did well. Just caught Matt Ryan off his line a little bit. Just tried to dink it over him. But other than that, you know, hitting the bar, there was nothing else much to report. It was a very drab first half of football. One of the more boring games that we'd seen so far at Molineux, and it didn't change much in the second half. It did it either. Wolves coming in, keeping the same 11, but I think Nuno, I'm not too sure what he was expecting, really. I think we should have made a couple of changes a little bit earlier in the second half. We knew that Brighton were going to sit back. We knew we could run at them, but they were going to defend deep. So you've got to change the wide players there. So on paper, Vinagre and Adama should have been the men to come on earlier. And unfortunately, they did come on, but a little bit later than I think that was needed. Wolves, overall, you know, bossing the play, running the ball, running at Brighton, but we just lacked a little bit of tempo, I think. A little bit of quick tempo is what we needed. We were a little bit slow on the ball. I think Neves and Coutinho controlled the game well, but getting the ball forward to Jimenez and Jota, who didn't have much luck today, we needed that little quick pass, that final ball into the area. We were trying those crosses that weren't really working, because they've got Dunk and Duffy, who are both big guys. They're going to beat Jota and Jimenez in the air all day. But we just couldn't find anything, could we? Towards the second half, I kept looking up to the clock and thinking, right, we've still got half an hour, we'll do it. Right, we've still got 20 minutes, we'll do it. And it just came up to the 90th minute, and I thought, how have we not managed to get anything here? Jota hitting the post again from a header. Dendoncker came on and almost scored the rebound off that. Matt Ryan made a great save as well. We were knocking on the door, but it just wasn't to be, was it? I think we could have played for another 2 hours and still wouldn't have scored. And I think now we've had over 40 shots against Brighton across the two games and failed to score, which is a little bit annoying, especially today as we had 70% of the ball. But Brighton came to Molineux, did what they wanted to do. Matt Ryan, first goal kick of the game, I think 4 or 5 minutes in, took 20-30 seconds to take it, and he was doing that for the majority of the game. I'll be interested to see how many goal kicks they had, but there was a lot, and the referee didn't put any pressure on him to take them. I think I would have been, if I was the referee, I would have booked him a little bit earlier, but I can't use that as an excuse for anything, can I really? Unfortunately for Wolves, Brighton came with an extremely negative way of football, but they're very close to potentially going down. So they need all the points they can get, and they know if Cardiff drop points against Liverpool again this weekend, they've still got that little bit of a cushion on them. But let's just hope Wolves' season doesn't fizzle out now. You know, we've been so close to getting that 7th place. It's opened straight back up again. It's still Leicester, Watford or Wolves, to be honest. Leicester dropping points today gives us that little bit of leeway, but Watford got the win. If we want to do it, we're going to have to beat Arsenal, we're going to have to beat Liverpool, we're going to have to beat Fulham, and most importantly, we're going to have to beat Watford. We need a really good run now until the end of the season. I don't know, I think we did everything today, bar score, and a very boring performance from Brighton, and I think the key was for us to get an early goal, and that would have opened Brighton up, and unfortunately that's not what we did, and that's it at the end of the day, isn't it? Really hoping the season doesn't fizzle out. When we've been so close, and in the back of our minds, we know we're going to get European football. And maybe it is too soon for Wolverhampton Wanderers, but you don't know how close we're going to be to getting this again. Full time, Wolves 0, Brighton 0. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. We're going to be back for a match preview against Brighton. As you can see, I'm sweating, so I better end it here. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Match preview against Arsenal, fan cams will be up for Brighton game as well. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll see you all very soon.